What's up everyone, it's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Please subscribe here and please follow me on Instagram at RussoLifts in case something happens to this channel. You can follow, message me, interact with me directly, and there's daily content on there. Hope to see you guys on Instagram. Enjoy. What's up everyone, it's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. So yesterday was my final day of injectable Yk11, so I decided to compile some of the experiment episodes into a roughly 22-day before and after injectable SARMS transformation. Now there are a couple disclaimers with this transformation, and the first disclaimer being it might be around 25 days. I'm going off the date that this current video was dated when the edit was complete on it, so I don't know the exact time the raw footage was shot. I may have edited it the same day. I may have had a buffer day or two to put together the whole video. I don't have the original raw footage, so we're going to say roughly around 25 days, but 22 days according to my computer's file dating system. So the next disclaimer would be that this was done with the test base, and this was also done with other compounds added in at the end. Please watch to the very end for the last posing footage to compare to this posing footage to see the before and after. In my opinion, it's night and day, but a testosterone base was utilized the entire time, meaning the original clip you saw of me in the very beginning was the same amount of testosterone as the last posing clips. Actually, the testosterone was probably lowered in the last posing clips because I had to lower it because of the binding affinity of the SARMs and having too much DHT sides, which I'll go into. So I might have actually been on more tests in the beginning of the video, whereas just more overall androgens at the end, but less tests. So that's a disclaimer. And then the ending posing footage is also kind of like, first off, I added in, the test base, then added the injectable SARM on top to see what the injectable SARM yielded as far as results and side effects. And then I switched it out. So I switched out R80 for Yk11. And then I got bored experimenting with Yk11, and I thought I might as well take advantage of the Yk11 and utilize the cycle in a more real world scenario, meaning I added in MK677 and IGF-DES. So I want to give all those disclaimers. I'm not trying to fool anyone. I'm not trying to persuade anyone a certain way. Again, the ending cycle with the Yk11 is more like real world. If I was going to utilize Yk11, the things I would put together with it to get the best real world results out of it versus me just experimenting to see specifically what it does. So this is the current footage from last night's chest workout. Was going again with progression on the incline bench. IGF-DES kind of gone the way. So if you never utilized IGF-DES before, it makes your pumps incredibly full to a point where it's difficult to lock weights out, and I actually hit failure on this set of 225 and almost hit failure the remaining sets. But IGF being a great booster when it comes to bringing up lagging body parts, and if you guys have been following and subscribed to the channel for a while, you'll know that chest is one of my worst body parts. So trying to bring up the chest and arms as fast as possible and as quickly as possible, but the IGF definitely is not the best when it comes to overall strength progression because your pumps get in the way. But my strength has been slowly going up. My central nervous system is getting accustomed to working with heavier weights again. I finally am back up to easily moving 275 on incline, and I'm going to be closing in on 315 and hopefully being able to incline 315 for a couple reps in the dead of winter at the peak of my bulk before I start cutting down. And then I moved into incline dumbbell after. Again, very quick session. Yesterday my sinuses were all out of whack. The seasons are changing in Pittsburgh, and overall I feel pretty sick, but I did want to get this video out as fast as possible. So if you watched the previous Yk11 episode, which I highly suggest you watch all the injectable SARM logs because there's a lot of information comparing them to oral SARMs, which I'm not going to go into in this video, but yeah, please check out the channel and please check out my Instagram if you made it this far, as well as watch the posing footage at the end. You'll know that my metabolic rate was out of control. I could not maintain 230 pounds to save my life, so I actually lowered the injectable Yk dosage along with lowering my test dosage because my theory was that the binding affinity of the SARM was too high. There was too much spillover happening with the current test base I was at. I was at, which was 300. So I actually dropped it lower for this posing footage because my skin was starting to suffer. I was starting to break out again and have more skin side effects. Yk11 still being blasted and utilized to have constant higher IGF-1 levels, but water retention comes along with that, and it always triggers my prolactin, so my prolactin is acting up. The nips aren't being too loyal in this video, but overall, comparing this footage to the beginning footage is insane, considering it's around 22 to 25 day difference, and the weight being 225 pounds to I'm around 229 to 231 in the morning, depending on how much I stuff myself. Again, my metabolism is just out of control. I can't really keep up calorie wise to maintain with the androgens, and that has been the issue I've been running into. That's why I lowered everything, hoping that I can maintain this weight easier, but it's been pretty difficult for me to sit at this weight and maintain it, and to gain weight is just been, I don't know what I need to do. Like, I'm eating so much food, spending so much money on food, and I'm not really gaining any fat, but my muscles are just getting burning through everything I eat, and it's just been overall difficult for me to figure that out. But overall, did I have any more side effects besides the skin side effects, which I talked about how I lowered all my dosages? No. My joints and tendons definitely took a toll. It wasn't anything extreme. Again, I told you in my previous video, I've been very careful about not going too crazy and doing weights that I know I can 100% handle, and not really trying to blow anything out. But overall, just walking up the stairs, my joints definitely feel a lot creakier and just less joint cushioning overall. My shoulders crack, and yeah, that is why the Yk11 is being stopped here. But the results speak for themselves. I mean, that is absolutely insane to me for the 22 day difference. Absolutely crazy. Night and day different look, night and day different fullness, roundness everywhere. And honestly, I'd be even crazier looking if the MK677 was dropped and the 4 to 5 pounds of water I was having was shedded. But again, I wanted to get as much permanent hyperplasia out of this as possible. So I wanted to keep my IGF as high as possible during it, so I don't really care how I look during it. I wanted to keep IGF high to utilize the most permanent gains, and then drop the water after and see it with a hardener versus just pull it off now. You know, I was really trying to get the most out of this Yk11, because it has been one of the strongest things I've ever experimented with. I think it's no joke. After seeing this, if you think injectable SARMs are bunk, I don't know what to tell you, because it's crazy. You know, I'm not going to come on here and say SARMs are better than gear in every single way, but saying injectable Yk11 doesn't do shit and is not powerful at all is a complete lie. And I can see Yk11 being used at even the most advanced levels and most crazy levels of cycling to enhance any cycle by the lowering of myostatin. It obviously helped me with a lot of gains everywhere, and overall I'm pretty jaw dropped. You know, everyone around me said how much bigger I got, my clothes fit differently, and it really wasn't as long as I thought. And the YK, man, the YK with the growth pathways of 677 and IGF death, it just yielded a ton of gains. So that's the transformation, 22 day difference.
Yeah, you let me fall, you made me weak, you tore me all apart. The taste so sweet, you say you like my heart, but hate the beat. Ooh, if you want to touch my body, if you want to feel my pain, if you want to kiss me softly, boy, go ahead and make it rain. Late nights, play nice, give me with the stakes high up, but no bite, guess that it's a safe fight. Train lights, straight dice, hit me with the snake eyes, fake lies, stage lights, looking at your face twice. Quit making sparks if you can't take the heat. You give your heart to these bitches for free, and the worst part is there's none left for me, 'cause I keep chasing the Maserati with no brain but a heart ready for you to call. You never speak, yeah, you let me fall. You made me weak, you tore me all apart. The taste so sweet, you say you like my heart.